All right, so now that I'm back to normal after that coughing spell, geez, that was fun. I don't even know where we ended up. We were talking about testing or something.
Something about testing and Silverlight hosting.
Yeah.
And, honestly, I don't recall exactly.
So, well, it's just funny because I got one more question that we can end up with. I know that at the last Cook Camp, I think you had just released 4.0 for CSLA. Is that correct?
That sounds about right.
Okay. What is the one feature that you've seen from people that have used it? Maybe it's not your favorite or anything like that, but the feedback you've got from CSLA users on 4.0. What's the one thing that they've said, this is awesome, this is really cool, I really like seeing this now that's in 4.0?
I think the biggest thing is the new rules engine.
Okay.
That's the new rules engine came into being based on a lot of feedback from people that were running into walls or finding things harder than they should have been with the old approach. Mm-hmm. And the new approach is just so much better. Frankly, in large part because of all of that feedback, and we were able to take all those ideas, put them together into something that opened up a whole lot of doors. So, honestly, most of the rest of your code is the same from 3.8 to 4. So it's really the rules are the single biggest thing. And now 4.1 will come out hopefully within the next month or two, and it'll support the phone. If you're interested in the phone, that'll be a big deal, but honestly, it'll be interesting to see how the phone unfolds over the next few months.
Have you even started to think about even more future, the VNext term that you think of from Microsoft, CSLA 5? I mean, have you even started to just think about what you could do in the future from an overall perspective?
Yeah. It's yes, I have.
Okay.
Speculation.
Speculation, right? Yes.
And I think there's a couple ways that I could go. One is to continue being very evolutionary, trying to preserve existing code bases and just carry forward. I think to me, the logical place to probably look at going now is Mono Touch and Mono Droid, specifically because so if I support the Windows Phone, and the Windows Phone is successful, that's great. But success for the Windows Phone means that it's a major player amongst three.
Yeah, yeah.
So having CSLA support all three of the .NET-ish platforms for the phones seems, so that's certainly one area that I've looked at a lot, or considered a lot.
Yeah.
The other one is very hypothetical and would be a complete break. And basically to say, using some of the DLR capabilities, you could almost reimagine CSLA, not the architecture.
Okay.
The architecture would be consistent because I love it. I think it's a good architecture. But instead of static creation of objects with properties and all of this sort of thing, to have a much more dynamic metadata-driven model but at that point, none of your code would carry forward, right? So it's like, or very little. I don't know.
So you're almost wondering, do you just finally say, like, this is the final way of doing it this way, and anything future is now going to take this, not architecturally different approach, but almost implementation different approach that would break people?
Yeah, and I'm not convinced that's the I did that step going from COM to .NET.
Yeah.
And kind of going from .NET 1 to .NET 2 with generics. I mean, those were both really big breaks. Beyond that, everything's been very evolutionary. And so to me, as much fun as it might be to explore some of these other ideas, it's difficult to say that I would do that unless there's some real overwhelming technology benefit or pressure. Which there isn't, honestly.
Okay.
So, in reality, I'll probably start exploring the mono ideas, and we'll see what comes out from HTML5 and its popularity.
Okay.
And it'd be interesting to think about ways to have a CSLA that runs in JavaScript.
Huh.
Well, I mean, so suppose that HTML5 does mystically become the be-all and end-all for client development, which, God help us. but if it were to do that, the architectural benefits of something like CSLA should apply there too. It's just obviously the only programming language in the world that runs in HTML5 is JavaScript. So
CSLA written in JavaScript.
yeah, I don't know. It's pretty hypothetical too.
Wow, that's an interesting turn. Didn't expect you to go there. All right. Well, thank you, Rocky.
Thanks.